Welcome in to the PHNX Suns postgame show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Lindsey Smith here with Saul, Bookman, and Espo. Gerald Bourguet will be joining us shortly. And guys, great news. It was such a fun and exciting game between the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, and the Suns whooped up on them 134-105. The Suns took care of business tonight.
Reggie Miller never really bothered me before, even last year. I know he had some stupid-ass takes. Today was another level of stupidity.
Why are we coming out the gates with hate? Jocktober is rolling on, so
Because
let's have some fun.
Everybody loves to hate Reggie Miller here. Am I wrong on that? Yeah, I thought so. Like, that's exactly what it is. Like, fantastic game. They balled their asses off. They stuck it to the Warriors, and then dipshit brings up Game 7 with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Because they had to get a little dig in there because they didn't know
Because he's a
how to
shitty
love
commentator,
the
that's
Suns
why.
as much.
Reggie had nothing else to say, so he had to default to the one thing he remembered. Candace Parker was the vastly superior analyst.
And she was
tonight.
even mid tonight, too. She had some awful takes.
I do love that she kept explaining the game to Reggie as if he didn't understand it. Can we please talk to Suns, though? The Phoenix Suns. I don't know why I'm going Stephen A. Smith right now, but that's how excited I am about the way they played tonight. A 29-point victory against the defending champs in the most beautiful basketball uniform to ever grace a court. It was a masterpiece all around.
You see what the hook
jersey
was,
brings
right?
it
It's
out.
always the jersey.
Woo!
It's always, that's why he's really excited.
Mark said the Suns looked amazing tonight, and I'm sure if he is a fan of those uniforms like Espo is, that's a double meaning there. But listen, you guys, the most important thing that you're going to hear us say tonight on this entire show, you ready? Come closer.
Listen closely.
Come very close, okay?
Get in here.
We've got a t-shirt drop! We got new merch for you guys. Brand new season. Finally, some brand new merch. And it is here and ready for you guys to pick up and put on your bodies and wear all around town.
Just rub it all over, put it on the body.
I don't know what else you were going to do with that shirt, but I assure you it goes on your body first.
The PHNX Suns diehards run this town. I love this shirt.
It's a really dope shirt. So it's a black shirt with kind of like the valley tone gradient almost on it. Says Die Hard, and then it says we run this town underneath it, and a little like PHNX logo on the bottom. It's a super nice shirt. If you guys want to get your hands on it, we put the link in the chat, and also you can find that link on our social media pages, or you can just head on over to our locker at phnxlocker.com to pick one up.
By the way, if you people want to hear me say it, I need 150 likes tonight.
Oh,
Otherwise, you are not getting it, even though it is the most truthful thing I will say on this program tonight.
So we have a super chat from Psycho Blue. I'm trying to read it.
Basketball Cthulhu felt the seal weaken tonight. B-ball Athena broke her Nike staff in half. Salty goddess she is, go Suns.
I think she broke it right over Klay Thompson's head tonight.
Clay, should we start off with that?
100%.
Listen,
100%.
all that showed everybody else, because Klay was shooting. He was abysmal tonight from the field. He couldn't drop anything tonight in the basket. And listen, 3 years ago, he was arguably the best shooting guard in the league. Then he got injured twice. Game over. Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league. Devin Booker, who, if you weren't really paying attention much, you'd have looked up and saw that he had over 30 points and be like, damn, for real? Like, it was just that. But that's what the great ones do. You look up at the scoreboard, next thing you know, Jordan's got 45. And you're like, it doesn't even feel like he had 45. Devin Booker had well over 30 points, and it just made it look so easy. I'm going to go on the record now.
Let's do it. What you got? Tell me.
Last time I was ready for somebody to come back. I was completely wrong on that, by the way. And right now, I'm going to call it. Devin Booker should be the front runner for MVP this season because he's going to carry this team all year long. He's going to end up averaging well over 30 points a game this season. And if you do that in the NBA, you have to be at least in the top 2 or 3. I'll give you 3 in the MVP consideration because he is making it look easy.
He's a clinician, a surgeon on both ends of the floor. Part of Klay's frustration was how good of defense Devin Booker was playing on him tonight. And putting it out there. And I love that. That's taking his game to another level. I mean, we've seen him get better on the defensive end, but now he's in Klay Thompson's head. He owns real estate in there for free. Like, he didn't have to pay for it. He got that. He inherited that shit. And he's living in Klay's head right now. And it was damn entertaining. The only bad part about it was TNT didn't cut to it when it was happening.
Yeah.
That was the only bad part of the whole argument.
Honestly, though, like, I don't think it was. I think Devin got into Klay's head the most, but I think Devin was in quite a few of the Warriors players' heads tonight because it got a little spicy there. And there were a couple times where we saw, especially in that third quarter, when the Warriors really started to find some momentum and a little bit of rhythm. After all this stuff kind of went down, Devin was still chirping to a lot of different guys. He was chirping before as well. And they got a little rattled and they weren't able to overcome that.
Well, I think, honestly, I don't even think it started with Book and Klay, to be honest with you. I think it was earlier in the game when Draymond pulled DA down and got the foul. And DA, at some point in that second quarter, caught the ball mid-key, threw it in the hoop, and just started talking to Draymond. And that's when it looked like everything started to take off and guys started chirping at each other. Honestly, I fucking love it. I want these two teams to hate each other. I want them to trash talk each other. I want them to be physical with each other, just not Cam Johnson. Because the Suns can take it. They can dish it and they can take it. The Warriors, they can dish it and they can take it. That's when basketball is at its greatest, is when you have two teams. Listen, if the Warriors evoke emotion from you because you hate them that much, that's a great thing because it makes the wins so much sweeter. So suck it, Warriors.
Oh yeah, I mean, everybody has pounded the table that we need to see that passion from DeAndre Ayton. Well, the Warriors brought it out of him tonight. You brought up the Draymond thing. He was chirping at Draymond after that Dre pulled him down and actually looked like he tried to kick him too. And DA was going at him. I love this. This is basketball at its best, like you were saying, Saul. It's what makes this sport so much fun because you can actually see the trash talk and you see these guys going at it with each other. Tonight was a special night. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. We also have one more super chat. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. They said, Klay, you're not that guy, pal. Glad to see we're matching toughness with toughness. Book MVP season.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Yeah.
Listen, and like there's a couple like whatever Warrior fans when I tweeted out like, Klay's just mad because Booker took his spot. Because Booker did take his spot. On the food chain of the NBA shooting guard pecking order, Klay Thompson is below Devin Booker. That's not even a dispute. Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league. And I had Warriors fans talking about 4 rings. I don't give a fuck about the 4 rings. I'm talking about right now. And when I'm talking, and Klay, it's like Klay saw it and he realized it and he couldn't do shit about it. And he was just like, damn, this dude really is. He's eating my lunch on defense. He's taking me to school on offense. I can't do shit about it. It's over. I'm just another decent role player in the NBA. That's all Klay Thompson is right now.
But I can put in my hand and go 4 rings, MF.
Cool.
Well, great.
Cool. Y'all,
that's great.
Also average like 3 points in the finals. I don't give a shit.
We'll get there eventually. We will. I have full faith that we will. Okay.
Brian in the chat's asked me to say it. You're 100 likes away from me saying it, Brian. I'm sorry. It's not happening yet.
Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. There's way too many viewers on here for how few like buttons or likes we have on this. And if you want to vote, like we could put a poll. Like if you get us to 150, we could put a poll, yes or no, if Espo does it or not.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You guys would prefer a vote.
you get to 150 likes, and you guys can vote whether I'll say,
there you go.
I'll yell it tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a lot for the chat. A lot of work for the chat.
A lot of work.
Hey,
well, there's 361 people watching this video right now, and there's only 52 likes, I believe. Let me...
Yeah.
80 79 now.
Nope, we're at 80.
Oh, look at that.
So back to the whole like Warriors Suns kerfuffle, trash talking shenanigans. Are you guys willing to say, like, it's safe to say that this is a legitimate rivalry now between the Suns and the Warriors?
I don't think it's a legitimate rivalry until we face each other in the playoffs.
Amen.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that's after you asked that question earlier tonight, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? No, because we were supposed to be there last year and we were the ones that choked it away. And we have no excuse for it. They should have never let that happen because everybody was anticipating a Warriors Suns Western Conference final and we didn't show up. But this year's a different year and hopefully that'll happen this year. I don't care what round it is because that's going to be fun basketball. And then after that, we can decide if it's a real rivalry or not.
If I see 7 games of what we saw tonight,
sign me up.
That's going to be one of the best.
It was so
playoff
fun.
games.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
It was like they got transported back to the 90s because you got the tough play, you got the trash talk, and you got the high scoring. It was fun.
I mean, even Crispy Haynes asked Monty during the game after one of the timeouts, he's like, feels like this is not the start of a regular season. It feels like we are a few months into the season, maybe pretty close to the playoffs. Are you feeling that too?
Yeah, it was awesome. Like it was a really good feel. Also, Jeremy in the chat saying at PHNX Sports, if the Suns don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, how are you going to rank Booker then? I don't even understand that question. If Klay Thompson is the Klay Thompson you saw tonight, does that mean he's automatically the best shooting guard in the league because he made it to the Western Conference Finals?
No.
Is that what's happening right now? Is that what that is saying right there?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the implication.
That's the inferred.
It ain't right.
Yeah, no, it's not. Whatever.
We have a few more super chats. One from Jay. Jay, thank you. Said, guess Klay got his feelings hurt. Cry face emoji, boo-hoo. More cry face emojis and a laughing face emoji. And then Manny said, how about now, Espo? We need it tonight, LOL. He's sending you a super chat to do it.
You're 41 likes away.
Manny,
$2
we're so
ain't going to get it done.
We're so close. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Keep them on coming. Right now, we are going to go ahead and name our draft king of the game. We're finally going to give all the flowers and the love to Jock Landale on his birthday, and the chat's blowing up about him. He's the birthday boy. He also had 17 points, well over the over on DraftKings Sportsbook app. He had 7 rebounds and 2 blocks tonight as well.
Party like a jock star, party like a jock star. Jock
my
Landale, everybody! Come on out to the landing. It's popping tonight.
Jock Landale tonight had so much energy. He was a blast to watch out there. Honestly, like, I don't know how you cannot like this guy.
Everybody should be riding the Jock, all right? That's what
Oh my God.
Okay, that one didn't work well. Look, man, we've been talking about it. We love Jock's hustle, his smarts, and tonight it all just kind of clicked. Everything was there, and he's still not hitting his threes the way that we heard that he can. So once that clicks, you may have a next level guy.
I mean, honestly, between him and DA, I thought DA could have been far more dominant. He missed some easy shots tonight. Jock, once he hits that perimeter shot, he's going to be unstoppable. Listen, tonight on a shooting night where combined those two go 12 for 26, they still gave you 33 points and 21 rebounds together. You will take that all day, every day. And that's with DA not really playing at the height of his abilities and Jock still not getting into a good rhythm from the perimeter. Once those happen, man, this might be the best center tandem in the league, period. Like it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch. And Jock is a difference maker. Out there, he hustles his ass off. He's in great positioning a lot of the times. He forces you to take tough shots, and that's what you want from your bigs.
Yeah, I mean, look, tip of the cap to our friend Cash Considerations, who once again deserves a spot in the Ring of Honor, because that's all the Suns gave up to get Jock Landale. They paid Atlanta a measly sum to bring Jock Landale in here, and it paid off in spades so far. This is the kind of energy. We had questions about the bench. There still are some, but when you get that kind of effort from Jock at that center position, I mean, that's big because there's not a lot of teams that have one good center in this league. But when you've now got a guy like Jock going up against the backups out there and dominating, that makes it very difficult to beat this team when you're winning a position battle the way the Suns can at the center spot now.
It's also really relieving to see this type of play from Jock because we were so concerned, of course, early on before we had made really any roster moves about losing JaVale McGee and where the energy that he brought would come from. And then we didn't have a whole lot of information around Jock going into the season. We saw the little fumble against Portland, but he said all the right things. And then in these last 2 games, he's come out and he's balled his ass off. He has really put his money where his mouth is and followed through on the things he said about wanting to make sure he's going out there and doing the job they're asking him to do and doing it well.
I think that final possession in Portland pissed him off.
I think so.
And I think locked him in even more than we saw in those first 2 games. And I'll take it. Look, I joke around about guys. I pick a favorite a lot of times, but there's something about Jock Landale on the court and off it. You brought up Saul during the game. There was a point where he called out Devin Booker for not guarding the right guy on a play. I think Jock has the intangibles and has the smarts to make this a really special season for him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're the anchor of the defense. DA's the anchor of the defense. And when Jock replaces DA, he's the anchor of the defense. And you got to make sure guys are in the right position. And that's what he did to Devin. Devin was kind of coasting backwards, and Jock got on him and said, hey, your man's in the corner. And sure enough, man was wide open in the corner, and Devin was able to get back onto him. So I just love how those two seemingly are interchangeable in terms of the way they control the game, and to kind of dictate where guys go. I love that. I love that about Jock. I did not expect that would happen. I did not expect to see Jock Landale be able to overcome Bismack Biyombo or even Dario at this point, because they were so much more experienced. But man, I tell you what, if that's what it means is just to play, a season for Greg Popovich and then come over here to the Suns, and maybe we should be. Maybe I was wrong about Jakob.
Maybe
we don't need him,
man.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. Maybe Gerald was right this whole time.
No, we actually got the backup Spurs center we needed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We are in a good spot. We are happy to have Jock here as a part of this Phoenix Suns squad. So congratulations once again on being the king of the game. Also, my bet hit. I bet on Jock tonight. I picked the over on his points on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
But you didn't place the bet.
But his points over under was 6.5 points.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say is if Jock has a lower over under on points, maybe take the over until DraftKings starts to move that number up.
It's going to move next
because
game.
It's going to move real fast, and then it's going to be like 12.5. Then it's going to be like 14.5.
Okay. Let's not get ahead of
You never know.
I'm upset.
I'm
upset.
Yours almost so close.
The Desert Heat.
So close.
All I needed was the Suns to have over 109 points. They had over 109 points. I needed them to win the game. They won the game. I needed Devin Booker to have over 25 points. Yes. Check. But here is my kryptonite, and I've been hesitant on Chris Paul all season, and I believed in him tonight, and he let me down by one assist. One assist.
Oh, come on.
It was so close, too.
Come on, Bookman.
He didn't even try.
He had 16 points,
he threw
9 assists, 7 rebounds.
He couldn't just get the double-double and call it a day?
Hold on. He said, turn off the water in the bathtub, unplug the drain. I ain't washed. I'm playing filthy out here.
Well, all I know is you should get in on the action on the DraftKings Sportsbook app because it's a hell of a lot of fun. And right now, if you download the app, new customers who sign up using the promo code PHNX can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. You can also boost your winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. So it's really simple. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Make sure you use that promo code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. We have a couple more super chats. The first one is from Icon. Icon, thank you. They said it was nice of TNT to bring the Warriors' hometown announcer.
Right.
You know what? Next time TNT and the Suns have a game, which I actually think is next Tuesday, why don't we do a watch along so you don't have to listen to those guys?
I also like
Maybe.
This next super chat is probably my favorite.
Is it Rennie or Renee?
Rennie Rebirth X says, LMAO, I can't wait till Klay drops a record on y'all. Okay.
He's a recording artist now? Because that's the only kind of record he's going to be able to drop.
I assume that's what he means.
No, a record,
I assume record performance.
Nobody in their right mind will watch Klay for the last year and change and think that he has that in him anymore.
Unless somebody's going to donate a fresh ACL and a few other things to him. A time machine, maybe?
Okay, if Klay dropped like a diss track on the Suns, though, that would be the most epic thing ever.
I would laugh my ass off. That would be kind of dope.
I love nothing more than NBA player diss tracks. They are so funny to me.
Yeah.
So funny.
I don't think
we made him mad.
All Clay's
thanks for the money, though.
Is, I got 4 motherfuckers. That's all he's gonna say.
Appreciate the donation, though.
Wait, but why are you mad?
He said, "Shut the fuck up, y'all." I don't know if you're new to this show or not, but
hey, I
Warriors fan.
I have something for him. If I could find it.
Yeah, we gotta find it. Anyway.
Well,
14 likes away, by the way.
Damn, my shoes are dirty as hell.
That is so
there
funny.
We go. Oh, there's Rene Rebirth. There you go. Oh, we can hear him all from the Bay Area.
But he did come back and say, "Not y'all, the others." LMAO.
All right.
All right.
I was like, we did read your super chat.
Do we have the Klay Thompson audio from the press conference? Can you hit that?
From the press conference?
Yeah, just
He's trying to get you to do the
Play
baby
the
sound
baby
again.
sound.
It's too late. You already
I
played
know.
it. He threw it off.
There we go. Klay at his press conference. All right. There we go.
But you know what, the great thing about this, and this is what Rene Rebirth is kind of alluded to, even though he didn't realize he was alluding to it. Last year against the Mavs, a lot of Mavs fans stuck around, but why? Because we're just different. We don't sound like the radio station or anything like that.
We're just having fun.
We just like to have fun. We appreciate you engaging with us in the chat. As always, we try to keep it decent, but it's all love, baby. It's all love.
And honestly, like we even said at the top of the show, like this game was so fun. It was a very fun, very entertaining game, and we would gladly have more of this come in the playoffs. Like this would be a fantastic series. These two teams going toe-to-toe like they did tonight. All right, let's get into a few more game notes from tonight's matchup. So I want to talk about the free throw attempts because you guys, the Suns had so many free throws tonight, comparatively speaking to what we're used to.
What?
They had 12 free throw attempts in the first quarter alone. And I don't know if I have this stat entirely right, but I think I saw Kellen Olson on Twitter say that this is like the second time that's happened since like the beginning of 2021, basically.
Yeah.
And then they finished the night 28 for 34 from the stripe, which was a heck of a lot more than the Warriors. The Warriors had 17 free throw attempts tonight. So that was a battle that the Suns won, and it's just really fun to see as a Suns fan because we don't see that very often.
You got to be the aggressor. We talked about it the other night. You have to be the aggressor. And the Warriors, it just depends on the night for the Warriors. A lot of times they rely a lot on the perimeter shot to get them going, and then they attack the hole. But the thing with the Suns tonight is because they have bigs that are able to defend the paint, you have to look for the outside shot more. And so the Suns on the opposite side were just attacking and attacking and attacking. That's actually been started by Devin Booker, who Gerald wrote a fantastic article about he's increased his drive percentage something to like 20 drives per game now as opposed to like 12 or 13 before. Like there's a method to this madness, and I hope it continues because it is going to pay dividends down the road. I just don't want Cam Johnson to drive because if he gets fouled, he might be gone for the game.
Or if he just happens to bump into his own teammate.
I'm going to keep saying that all season long, Lindsey.
I do love that Book's game keeps evolving, right? Like you're saying, like he looks at it, he dissects what he needs to get better at, and he attacks that next thing. And this is the best we've ever seen Devin Booker. And we thought, was last year the peak? Was that the pinnacle? Could we get any more out of Devin Booker? And he's found a way by getting to the line, by making those drives, and to your point earlier, Saul, it's a quiet 34. And I like that. He doesn't need to be splashy with it, no pun intended, with the Splash Brothers in town, but he can go out and just, take care of business, take over a game. Even he had that lull in the third, and then he came back out in the fourth and turned it back on. I love it.
One of the things that I'm going to continue to pound this fantastic, comfortable chair for more furniture on is that you saw tonight Devin Booker be Devin Booker, Chris Paul be Chris Paul. Whereas I think that's I'm not going to say I'm going to expect bigger games from Chris Paul. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he had a 2010 or 2012 game or here or there. But I think we're getting close to the max of what Chris Paul can offer this team, in my opinion. So as a fan, as you all are watching these games and kind of following through, you got to realize it's a process, right? So DA doesn't have the greatest night shooting. He's 6 for 14. It's a process because it's not about right now. As much as it's great to win these games right now, it's about the playoffs. And the more comfortable DA gets, the more reps he gets, the more reliable he's going to be in those playoffs to help Devin Booker, to help, the Cam Paynes and Cam Johnsons and Mikal Bridges of the world. And the less you have to rely on Chris Paul. And to me, that's the most imperative thing right now. How do you take the ball out of Chris Paul's hands in the playoffs so that way he becomes a valuable asset, but not a key contributor?
I also think going back to like the free throw things and just maybe getting a little bit more respect from the officials on a regular basis is the physicality that you guys were talking about, but starting physical from the jump. I think when you set the tone immediately in a game, it kind of creates this perception from the officials that, okay, this is just a physical game. But when you kind of try to be physical later on during a game, it's like, okay, now you guys are getting a little too... Are you kind of flustered and that's why you're going to this? But if you play physical on a regular basis, it becomes your identity and you get a little bit more love and respect from the officials when that happens.
Tonight reminded me of middle school in a way where, sometimes there's the popular kid, but then the bully comes out and goes, I don't care how popular you are. I'm going to enforce my own will here. I'm going to make it very clear that people may like you, but this is still my school. And I felt like that's what the Suns did today was they punched the popular kid in the face and said, oops, sorry about that. You may not like it.
We're not taking it anymore. Yeah. We do have a couple super chats. One from Rennie again. Thank you for your super chat one more time. Said LMAO. I can't. Oh wait. Whoops. I went too far back.
It's all love, but I do love the channel.
There we go. Yeah. It's all love, but I do love the channel. And then we got one from Scott that said Saul and decent in the same sentence. Laughing face emoji. And then Orion said, happy I found PHNX. Love your shows and content. And also Saul, bear down, go Cats.
Let's go, baby.
Thank you for your super chat and the support. We're glad to have you here. Icon told me to tie my shoes, which I will not.
Now she definitely won't.
I had to untie them earlier when we were watching the game because they were just making my feet hurt, and I just needed to loosen them up. And I was going to tie them, and then I just didn't.
Most Lindsey thing ever. I had to untie my shoes. They were just bugging me.
It just is what it is. And then Colin, thank you for your super chat, said, okay, but Jock was better than Ayton tonight. You can't tell me otherwise. And there are already people in the chat saying, Colin, I don't know. That might be debatable.
Yeah, I mean,
he was good.
Who cares? They both were good. They got the job done. Let's move on.
Also, I would just say we've got a good thing going for ourselves right now with both of our bigs. Let's not pit them against each other.
I don't think they really care.
Well, I mean, I know, but just from general from a general conversation and narrative going around Suns fans and our team, let's just lean into the positives and not create unnecessary drama, even if it's amongst just us and not actually anything to do with the players. Let's just not do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's, that's how it goes.
This is Phoenix, and somehow we're complaining about a center who had 16 points, 14 boards, and 4 assists. Phoenix never has centers like that. Why are we complaining about it? Enjoy the fact that the center position is a position of strength here now with DA and Jock, and enjoy the ride. You beat the defending champs by 29 behind your centers. What's the problem?
Geez, Colin, you see what you did now? He
Yeah,
said,
because we did get a super
not
chat
trying
from
to hate, I promise.
We did get another super chat from AZ King and said, "Here come the casuals like Colin hating on DA because the backup."
No.
had a decent player."
That's not what
Colin
Colin's
is
doing.
not a casual.
Colin's not a casual.
Also, Colin did, like you said, haha, not trying to hate, I promise. He came back in the chat. So thank you for clarifying.
Also the person in the chat that's saying
We're going to be nice to everybody.
we only read
super chats.
We only read super chats. The chat is moving like a Vegas slot machine
I'm
tonight.
doing the best
we
I
can't
can.
read it fast
I'm doing the
enough.
best I can.
Aw, Lindsey is so adorable. No fighting. There you go. You happy?
Exactly.
Thomas said that.
Thomas gets it. That's what we're doing. We're not fighting with each other. We can fight with other people, but not with each other. Except for you two. You guys can fight a little bit, Saul and Espo.
No, I want to fight with you.
Occasionally.
No, I've made it my New Year's resolution to fight with
I'm
Lindsey.
not.
and only
I'm not
Lindsey.
gonna
We
play.
both fight it?
Yes,
Colin
absolutely.
did
Perfect.
give us one more super chat and said, "It's all love, everyone. Sorry, laughing face emoji."
Sure it is. Colin.
Devontae Jennings. It's preseason. Chill the fuck out.
And Brian says Colin is forgiven.
So,
So.
there we go. See, we're all good now.
Yes, Emma?
All right, so speaking of the chat, we have hit 175 likes, so I am going to drop a poll in the chat right now. All you have to do is vote yes or no. Only thing is that it's under a certain time limit, so you only have X amount of time.
Look at this. You guys get to be interactive today and vote on the show. Look at this.
Ooh.
Little Miss Sunshine behind the Mac dropping the poll. Get in there and vote.
Hey, yo.
Dropping it right now.
All right,
Drop
poll
it
is
like a
live.
Saul.
One more super chat. Alex said, "Can Cam please turn it up? He's looking dead from the 3." How are you guys feeling about Cam? Because I feel like he has spurts where it's like, dang, Cam looks really good right. Wait, which Cam are we talking about, actually?
I'm
I'm
Sorry,
assuming Cam
Johnson.
Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I feel like he has really good spurts, and then like he falls and it gets really concerning, and then maybe he takes it easy. I'm conflicted.
I'm afraid every time Cam Johnson touches the ball or gets touched. I don't know what to expect from him. I expect every time he goes down, like tonight, he hit the ground and he was holding on to his tailbone because he looks like he aggravated it, and it's just my guy's just got the worst luck in the world, and I don't feel like he's as reliable as everybody hopes he could be.
I also feel like it may be mental for him a little bit now too.
Yeah.
Because now it's got to be like every time he makes some kind of move, am I going to inadvertently hurt myself? Is something going to happen? Plus, when you're in and out of games like that, it's got to throw your legs off, right? And shooting's all a rhythm. So to me, if he can't get in that rhythm, it's going to throw that shot off for sure. So.
All right. One thing that I do want to remind everybody listening right now is that tomorrow we're going to be at Four Peaks Brewery all day. All of our PHNX shows are going to be live from their 8th Street pub. And this is your formal invitation to come hang out with us, whether it's on your lunch break, if you've got the day off, if you want to work from home and come on down to the pub. We will be there and we would love to see you. Also, you can enjoy $3 Kilt Lifter and Wow Wheat Pints when you mention that you are there with us. In addition to that, another reminder that the Yotes play their inaugural home game at Mullet Arena this upcoming Friday, and you can join our PHNX Coyotes crew at Four Peaks for our tailgate/watch party. It is free to enter, and you can also enjoy $3 beer specials and watch that game on a 20-foot jumbo screen. You can register through the link in our show notes. As a reminder, and as always, you do have to be 21 years or older to drink Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you enjoy responsibly.
You think I can get them to make me a jock tail tomorrow? At the,
Yes, I bet, you know
we
what?
need to come up with one,
I
right?
bet you they would come up with something like
We're
that.
making, tomorrow
Okay.
at Four Peaks, we're making a jock tail.
You know what needs to happen? Because Jock is going to be, I'm going to put
Only
this
if
out
you
there
sing
right
it.
now.
Only if you sing it like
Jock tails, woo!
everywhere you go, we're singing jock tails.
tail,
Woo!
I think I have a really good idea. Tell me if you guys like this.
Okay.
I'm putting it out in the universe right now that Jock will be on our team next season. We're thinking way far ahead, okay?
Like on
Yes.
our team?
Suns.
Oh,
like
Suns.
Suns.
Okay.
He will still be on the Suns next season.
What if I want
Okay.
him on our team?
Well, I think
I think we can make that
PHNX,
happen.
Four Peaks, and Jock should team up to create a Jocktober brew.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be so
Oh,
fun?
It'll
That would be
jock your
pretty-
socks off, all right?
I
Yeah.
love this idea.
Let's
I don't
do
know. If anybody
Jocktails.
could make it happen, it is you two. So I'm just putting that, the $1 million idea. Now you guys run with it.
You
Okay.
know what else we can make happen? winning some money with Underdog Fantasy.
This is true.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you, my favorite is the Pick'em on the Underdog Fantasy app.
Hello, I will slap you.
We'll get to that later. My favorite thing on the Underdog Fantasy app is the Pick'em, where you're going to take guys higher or lower in the game. And right now, I'm telling you, anytime Jock shows up on there, hit the higher. That's going to be the first thing that you do. And anytime Klay Thompson shows up on it, hit that lower. That's what I'm going to say. You're going to win some money. Use the promo code PHNX when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy by downloading their app, and we're going to take care of you. That's Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code PHNX.
Yes, it is the best place to play daily fantasy sports and potentially win some big money doing that. So make sure you use that promo code PHNX and get in on the action today. All right. Another game note that is worth talking about is rebounding.
Lindsey loves her game notes.
Won
Well,
the
do you want to know
rebounding battle.
the poll? Because it ended.
Sure.
But Lindsey wants her
game notes.
All right, go to game notes. They can wait.
No, we already stopped
No.
the whole show, so let's do
Hold
the
on.
poll.
No. Let's go with the game notes.
Hell no.
Let's let the
We
people
already
wait.
interrupted the show. Espo, do your thing because the poll
We don't even know
said
what the
you
poll
gotta
said.
do
What did
it.
the poll say?
The poll said yes.
What,
Thanks, Lindsay.
The poll said yes.
Wow.
what was the percentages, Little Miss Sunshine?
It was 78% yes, 21% no.
Ladies and gentlemen, everything you've been asking for and what you've been waiting for this evening.
I'm prepared to be
After a
disappointed.
29-point win from the Phoenix Suns over the defending champions, it's time. Get ready. The Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. Suck it, Klay Thompson. Suck it, Steph Curry. Suck it, Draymond Green.
I kind of feel
I almost
like
passed out. I got really lightheaded
You
there.
said you finished off like the first part, and it seemed like, oh man, is he about to slump over?
I thought you were going to keep going, to be honest with you.
I just ran out of gas there. Wow. All right.
Good job, Espo.
You're welcome.
Good job, chat.
Do
Thank
we
you
have
for
some-
getting us there.
Do we have some game notes?
Also,
No.
Jack, can we
No
find
more
a
game
different
notes.
name for Emma? Because the Little Miss Sunshine thing is just very sounds very
That's yours.
condescending. I haven't called her that
But you came up with it.
Twice
You
today.
on the show.
No.
in the
Oh,
office.
then that's where it counts.
Off air.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Lindsay. Keep going
No,
with
you
game
guys
notes.
are fine.
Game notes. Woo!
Maybe we should just call him the Jock, like the Rock.
Okay. Anyway, game notes.
Woohoo!
Rebounds were what?
Yeah, you guys want to talk about
Yeah,
rebounds?
let's
Sure.
talk
Because
about
that
it.
always seems to be a topic of discussion for the Suns, dating back to as far back as I can remember. But the Suns won the rebound battle tonight.
There we go.
They had 48 rebounds to Golden State's 40 rebounds. And obviously, we talked about Jock with his 7 rebounds. DA had 14 tonight. Chris Paul had 7. It was a pretty much a full team effort. There were a lot of players tonight who put a lot of emphasis on getting the rebound. I think, but for me personally, I want to give a little love to DA because I feel like it's an extra emphasis this season on getting that rebound. And I know a lot of people have talked about that over the last handful of seasons with him, but I think the energy and effort is there on the boards from DA this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's definitely his effort has been increased a degree. Again, with DA, it's the consistency that you want. I think right now you're starting to see that consistency. I didn't think he had a particularly phenomenal night tonight and still gave us 16-14. That's like the floor for DA, right? Like it can't be anything worse than that. The other night he had stats that were a little bit below that. That's not acceptable. It's got to be higher. And I think you're starting to see that he understands that. And I'd be shocked if by the end of the season he's not averaging 20 a game. In the second half of this season, DA is going to average 20 a game easily. And he's going to average double-digit rebounds, probably somewhere in the 12 to 13 range.
Look, Aiton's putting in the effort, but it was an entire team effort tonight on the glass, like you're talking about, Lindsey. Even CP3 was 7 there, and this is one of those areas that heart and hustle win that for you when you're locked in. And this team so far this year has outperformed on the boards compared to what they have on the roster. This should not be a very good rebounding team when you look at it outside of DA and Jock, but they're finding ways to get it done. Mikhail does it on most nights as well. This is going to be the way they win a lot of games, is doing the dirty work, doing the little things, and it starts with rebounding.
Mm-hmm. And I just think that's something to keep an eye on throughout the next handful of games over the next month and a half or so, because I think that's going to be a very important area for the Suns to really master with this squad.
And keep it in mind, they're doing it without Jae Crowder, who was one of the guys that got down and dirty and got a lot of boards for him over the past 2 seasons as well. There's still a move to be made here to add to this group and help with that situation as well.
Is that a lead-in?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Let's go.
So we got an update from Crispy Haynes today. Prior to the game on TNT, he had mentioned Jae Crowder and the Suns situation and kind of said he was hopeful that he would get to talk to Jae a little bit more in depth, and he did. And he gave us a report during, I think, the third or fourth quarter of the game.
So what we're saying is he talked to Jae.
I think so.
From the pregame.
I really do think he did.
He said he was going to get an update before the end of the game.
It was before. It wasn't in pregame. I don't think it was like an hour before the game started.
Look,
when he had given that first report.
Do we have that clip?
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
Let's run the clip.
You have to remember with the Suns, they are without a key member of their team, Jae Crowder. Jae Crowder and the team agreed that he would stay away while the team looks for a trade. And Jae Crowder hasn't spoken about this situation since it all transpired. So I had the chance to talk with him today, and he gave me this quote to relay on air. He said, honestly, this is unfamiliar ground for me. This is my 11th year, and I've always been in camp and started the year off with my team. The business of basketball has taken its course, and changes have come. I do not want to get into details just yet, but it's definitely not true of the narrative being pushed about me not starting tonight. I can honestly say that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jae Crowder knows that he's going to get traded. At least that's the agreement that they came to. The most important part is there is something out there saying that, you know, he refused to come to the Suns because he did not want to ride the bench. He didn't want to come off the bench. And everything that he was tweeting, listen, you are at the discretion of your own actions right now, Jae Crowder. And what you were doing all summer long in cryptic tweeting and basically saying that you did not want to be here, it hurts you. It hurts you. And now the Suns are in this position where you've stuck them in a corner and they have limited options because everybody and their mom knows that the Suns are trying to get rid of you and they're not trying to give up the farm for a guy that's basically a 6th or 7th man at this point in his career, inconsistent shooter, but a great defender and a great intangible type of player. Like, again, you got to find the right situation, or the Suns are going to have to find the right trade for that to happen. But because you kind of blew it all up from the get-go and the Suns have no leverage with any of these teams, you're sitting here playing in a fucking empty gym in Cleveland for no reason, trying to get some shots up, talking about you working out. But dude, this is your fault. It's absolutely your fault.
Yeah.
I love Connor in the chat says boss baby 99. Look, this is him trying to do PR spins. He's trying to save face by being like, oh, no, it's not that I wanted to start. My story will come out. Nobody cares what your story is, Jay. You're not there for your team. You basically, like Saul said, backed them in a corner and forced your way out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. I like to imagine he was sitting at a bar across the street, and that's where Chris got the information from. He's like, I'm going to walk over there. Well, Jay's sitting over there crying in his beer that he's not with this team.
But like the other side to this, right, where he's saying, well, the truth is going to come out, people will hear my side of the story at some point. It's as if, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm right on this. It's as if he knows some damaging evidence or something that's going to come out as to why he wanted to leave the Phoenix Suns in the first place. And from all intents and purposes, there's nothing there. It's just that Jae Crowder didn't get an extension and he's not going to be a starter. And that's the reason why he doesn't want to be here anymore. What else could it possibly be?
Well, it was interesting. He only said it wasn't because I wasn't going to be a starter. He didn't
Yeah,
say
that was
it
the
wasn't because I
specific.
didn't get the money that I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Which in the end, that's got to be what it is. You don't just sit out like this because my feelings are hurt. It's about money. It's about dollars and cents. He didn't want to plan on expiring, so he's sitting at home right now.
I don't know, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because
before we
can
bring on
already
Gerald,
hear us. Can he hear us though?
No, he can't.
No.
Before we bring on Gerald, we're gonna give him a secret word. We got to try and get him to say a secret word, which is spicy.
Tonight's word.
Spicy.
Yes.
Continue, Lindsey. Sorry.
Okay. All good. I don't even remember what I was saying, but I think if it was anything beyond just not getting paid, what would be stopping him from telling that story right now?
Nothing.
If it was something egregious that this team did to him, he should absolutely share that information then. If that's what's keeping him away from the team and from basketball, there's no shame in sharing that information. But if the information that he's going to share in this story coming out is simply you couldn't come to terms for a longer term deal, that makes you look bad more than it does the team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, completely. And he had a national stage to tell his story on tonight, and he chose not to tell Crispy Hayes.
Especially because if it's not about the money and a long-term deal, like, you could earn that still this year potentially. And I get the whole injury side of things. Like, you don't want to play and get injured if you don't have something locked up. But he's 32, I think, right? 32. It's not like he's super young. Maybe that's why he's concerned, because he's older.
I don't
and the
care.
injuries are more likely.
He made $30 million off this team. Like, it's not like he's in poverty here. Do your damn job. If you want money, do your damn job. That's what the money's for.
Can we let Gerald out of the box right now?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Gerth. Gerald, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm clearly in a much happier mood after this game than you guys are.
No, we were happy earlier on.
No,
then we
yeah,
just
we're
got
all
into
good.
other stuff. That's all.
We're all good.
Okay.
Gerald, if there was one word you could use to describe this game, what would it be?
Oh, one word. I don't know. I would just say tough. Honestly, the mental toughness, were you guys placing bets on what word I would use?
No. Just continue.
Okay. No, I would just say tough because of the mental toughness, the physicality that they established early in the game. DA and Jock said that was a focus for this game, the defense getting up in guys, and then, on the other end, forcing the issue on the block and just hitting somebody. Like, they were very physical tonight, and I think it showed just in their edge, their mentality when that dust up with Klay happened. Like, they all kind of kept their cool, and it was the Warriors, the defending champs, who kind of lost their cool. So I would just say tough in that regard as far as how I would describe this game.
I mean, I haven't seen the Suns like this in a while. Like, out there, what went on with Klay, he and Book jawing. I mean, what was the feeling? Like, what was the attitude out there at the building tonight when you were watching that?
Yeah, crowd definitely got incensed when that happened, especially because, Klay Thompson kind of shoved Mikal out of the way to keep talking and keep yapping with Book, and the fans did not like that at all. As soon as that happened, they went off. But I kind of appreciated the fact that Book was already walking away. He was kind of already over it. Nobody on the Sun side lost their cool. And in the locker room, Devin Booker said, he has a lot of respect for Klay. Growing up, he wanted to be Klay. But now, he knows that Klay Thompson has the 4 rings, which he mentioned Klay brought up multiple times. But he said, that's what I'm aspiring to be. And, his 4 rings is not going to stop me from being a competitor in that moment. And he also kind of threw a sly little dig in there. He was like, he was probably upset because he was having an off night. So Book knows the situation. He knows the name of the game in this case.
It's nice that he wanted to be Klay and now he's Klay's daddy. So.
Oh, Jesus.
Gerald,
I didn't say it.
What else did Monty and the players have to say about this one outside of the kerfuffle there between the two teams?
You're banned for ever using that word. Actually, no, he didn't use that word.
I used this word 100 times.
I thought he used it on Twitter, but I realized it was somebody else. My bad. Never mind. Carry on.
No, it's all good. So Monty was complimentary of, again, the team's physicality, of keeping their cool. he called Devin Booker, in his mind, the most complete player in the league right now in terms of the way that he's scoring from all three levels, the way that he's just been unguardable through these first 4 games. He acknowledged it's a small sample size, but the way that he's putting every facet of his offensive game together at the right time, it does feel like this is the most complete Devin Booker that we've seen. And he also mentioned, with Chris Paul before the game, he had said, like, everybody's been telling him to shoot threes. So he was pleased with the way that he was letting him fly and was glad that they were going down for him. He knows Chris Paul is a great shooter, so it was only a matter of time, but it does help a guy's confidence and getting more comfortable in a new role when you do see those shots fall like that.
When you get the kind of production that you got tonight from Jock and DA combined, I mean, how high is the ceiling for this team if those guys are going to do what they did tonight moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's very high. There's the physicality that they were playing with forced the issue, and it forces your defense to overreact because you got to send help if those guys are, running free throw line to free throw line, block to block, and putting a body into somebody. You've got to send help, and that opens up so many driving lanes, so many shooting opportunities for everybody else. So when you've got DA starting off that way and they're getting him touches early, and then you've got Jock that comes in right after that, and it's the same deal, like that makes everybody else's life so much easier. So this was a good example of what happens when you are able to use that patented catchphrase, feed DA, feed the guy inside. It really did open up everything for everybody else.
Did you get a chance to talk to Jock tonight? What was his reaction to the big game on his birthday?
We didn't get Jock at the podium. I passed him in the locker room and didn't have enough time to ask him anything other than to tell him happy birthday. But he seemed in a good mood, and we did talk to DA in the locker room afterwards. And he was saying that Jock is the toughest Australian that he knows. He's saying, I know Aaron Baines, but that dude is tough. He's coming in there. He's putting bodies on people. He's flexing after plays. So DA is pretty high on what Landale is bringing off the bench right behind him.
So, Gerald, is it official that CP3 is washed, or can we put that away now?
Jesus
I think
Christ.
I think we could put that away for a little bit. It was good to see the shots fall. And, he was mentioning, we asked him about everybody telling him to shoot. And he said, yeah, I'm going to shoot. I promise I shoot. I shot 8 of them the other night. I just didn't make very many of them. So tonight was a good bounce back performance. It was only a matter of time for a guy who I think in his career is a 44% catch and shoot guy. So this is good for everybody involved. It's helping everybody grow. And if it doesn't work come playoff time, you can always revert back to trying what you have been trying all along. But I do think this will be better for everybody in the long run.
Gerald, the chat is asking, what's your go-to order at Monroe's Hot Chicken?
All right, so it is the fried chicken sandwich, hot heat. That's the flavor. It's the hot heat. And I usually get a side of fries, and then I get 1 or 2 of the Kick It Up sauces on the side. That's the go-to.
Gerald, how would you describe the green chilies in your hometown?
Superior to all other green chilies elsewhere.
How about their flavor, though? How do they hit you on the taste buds?
Oh, they're tremendous taste. They're not like super spicy or anything like that. But
Damn it!
Was the word spicy?
Yes.
How does Monroe's Hot Chicken not have spicy in it?
He danced around it the whole time. I didn't think he was going to get it.
We got this.
I am ready for my next one. Damn it.
Taste, phenomenal flavor. I'm like, but is it spicy or not?
Sorry, Gerald.
And that's Gerald's word of the game.
Oh my God.
We got to keep a running tally for you guys.
Yeah.
Saul was hoping you would pull a Lindsey and say tonight was a spicy game off the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have said, if you were Lindsey, how would you describe this game?
That would be a good
Damn
one.
it, Saul.
That's
Always
even
good
why I
after the
asked,
fact.
and Espo and Lindsey both at the same time were like, nothing. No.
I know. We were not sly with that at all, you guys.
By the way, I think I pulled a hammy running to something. Somebody call the doctor.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh man, your butt hurts like the Warriors.
Whoa,
Gerald, anything else that stood out to you tonight that you would like to bring some attention to?
No, not really. The last thing I'll say is that I asked Booker about Monty's comment about him being a complete scorer, and he kind of put it best. He said, I'm just being aggressive. I'm trying to continue to keep getting better. I'm going to keep getting better even after I retire. And I'm playing basketball with my dad, who plays in a pickup league a couple times a week. So I like where his mentality is at. I think we're seeing that mentality come to fruition on the court. So I really do think it's only 4 games in. I don't want to jump to any MVP talks or anything like that, but like, this could be the best season of Devin Booker's career. And that's pretty exciting considering what we've seen from him so far.
Gerald, we appreciate your time tonight. A lot of people in the chat say that you look spicy because you look like you might be going to the club next. So have a good time if you are. I don't know if
on
you
a
are.
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
You know those clubs.
Nothing happens good at a club on a Tuesday.
No.
Gerald, one quick final question that I didn't get in. The throwback jerseys and the pregame introductions, how was that tonight?
Phenomenal. They need
Espo
to
was going to cry over here because he was like, I need somebody to send me the intro videos because they got the retro jerseys. That's what he sounds like in my head. So
understandable, but no, it was worth blubbering over for sure. It was really cool, and they should honestly just do that every night, and I wouldn't mind it at all.
I think the whole entire fan base would probably be into that, to be honest with you.
Emma, can I get the solo shot? You're dead to me, Bookman! Dead!
Thank you, Gerald.
Thanks,
we
Gerald.
appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
See you tomorrow. So I feel like we probably should have tweeted like at Klay and the Warriors and given them a heads up at the end of the game that like the best thing that they could have done after tonight's game is just stop by the dispensary and picked up some OGs, specifically the sleep edition gummies, so that they could have just popped one, started to fall asleep on their way home, and then just crashed out.
To be
wake
fair,
up tomorrow refreshed and hopefully not remembering that they got
to be fair,
absolutely annihilated.
California was on one before Arizona was, so they probably got that Bay Area kush
No,
going
it's
on
not
the flight.
nearly as good as OGs.
No, it's not. I'm just saying they got their own stuff too, though.
Klay popped one of those before the game. That performance looked like he was asleep. So
I mean, I don't know, but all I know is if you guys are not in the know on OGs, then you are missing out. And they just launched their brand new Sleep Edition gummy. And these are a 2-to-1 THC to CBN ratio gummy. And of course, CBN is a compound that helps specifically with falling and staying asleep. And it's in their new aquaberry flavor, which is super delightful. So if you want to check them out or check out any of their other amazing products, we highly recommend you do so. You can find them online at ogsbrands.com. You can find them on Instagram at ogsbrands. And you can also find their products at your local dispensary. But just remember, you must be 21 years or older to purchase.
And also, remember, we're going to have some fun next Friday at our takeover event for the Suns game. Please come out, join us. It's going to be a freaking blast. You might want to pop an OGs before you go watch the game. It makes it that much funner. I'm not even going to lie. But before then, there's still a couple games that you could possibly go to, and you can go to for as of right now less than $38 just using the Game Time app. Game Time, you can save up to 60% on tickets. It's awesome. Like the link is right here inside the chat. You can look at our show notes and our descriptions. You can click on that link. Please click on that link and go to the game. Right now, the next game against the Pelicans, which should be a really, really good game, $38. $38 against the Pelicans. And if that's not your cup of tea and you want to save your ducats, wait till Sunday and you can go watch the crappy Houston Rockets for $19. I really sold that, didn't I?
And if you wait until the day of the game, I bet you can get it in for about $4.
Yes, and that's the thing. You got to wait till the last minute. Like I said, last Thursday, I went to the Cardinals game, $140. I sat 25th row on the 50-yard line. Like, you can't beat those tickets. They're phenomenal tickets. So have fun, enjoy, click on that link. And remember, we're going to have a blast. We're already over halfway sold out of our tickets for the takeover next Friday, $75. Come party with us, come drink, come eat, and we give you tickets to the game. It's going to be a blast. The food's free, the beer's free. Let's go have fun and take over the friggin' arena.
We're actually going to go.
Yeah, we're going.
We're going to be there.
Yeah.
You're not
And
just
we'll
going
make
by
Gerald
yourself.
come by and say hello.
Maybe.
No, he will.
By the way, shout out to Her Eminence, Emma, behind the Mac, doing great work here as we throw like 60 ads all in 5 seconds that she had to throw graphics and links for. So.
The last thing that I kind of wanted to mention tonight, I just want to give a flower to Mikal Bridges. He had a great game, 17 points. He had 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. I feel like Mikal kind of went under the radar tonight as, I don't know, it just kind of felt like the Suns were everybody was jamming. So it kind of just felt like not a single person really stood out, but everybody had a pretty good game.
I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to point out Campaign because I really feel like he's starting to get back to the old Campaign that we knew when he first got here to the Suns. He's being assertive. He's being aggressive when he takes it to the basket. He's not really deferring to everybody else. That's what we need to see off the bench to back up CP3, and we're going to need it more and more as the season goes along. So that's the guy I'll shout out.
I agree with the Mikal take. Just some of the things he's starting to do on offense. He's utilizing that long wingspan to get in that lane, and I love the way he's been cutting to the hoop and stuff. So yeah, he was kind of we talked about Booker having a quiet 34, but Mikal really, had a great game, but did it quietly. Not anything that was overly flashy, but you need nights like that. You need guys like that, and Mikal comes through more often than not. So
yes, and as Chris in the chat says, Saul is stingy with the flowers, hard earned.
Yes, he is.
So shout out to you, Campaign. Hopefully we get even more of that. We're all rooting for you. So fingers crossed for a great Campaign season.
Would love to see you all out at Four Peaks tomorrow. You can talk your shit to us and we'll listen.
Our show is at 3 p.m.
We'll buy you a beer.
Plan to come hang out with us either at Four Peaks or right here on YouTube. Of course, if you can't join us live in person or on YouTube, you can always find us on your favorite podcast platform. Just make sure you subscribe, rate, and give us a 5-star review because it does help us out a lot. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until we see you tomorrow, you can follow me on Twitter at Lindsey Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourguet. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Jocktoberfest is alive and well. Grab your plot at Landale Landing and grab a jocktail. We'll see you tomorrow. Ahoy, hoy.
In control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saul pass the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B, always on the job.